Welcome to Persephone's Tavern.
Welcome to Ivila. I am your humble DM, Trevor Trent, joined as always by Hayden Poindexter,
Galil Ormander, humble servant of Alicluse,
Austin Boyette,
Krisk Ultakis,
Nick Lloyd,
Yuriael Gloomraven, the Red Mask.
and Andrew Goebel.
Casimir Ashford, local bookworm.
All right, let's get into it. Last we left off, our adventurers continued on to Dragon's Breath, where they found a bustling market town alive with energy, nestled in the shadowed heart of 4 equidistant bluffs. While exploring the market square, Yuriael lost his money by a child pickpocket. Confronting the child, Yuriael learned there were many orphans like him in the town. They explored looking for a place to rest, eventually receiving directions to Ogre's Rest Tavern, a quaint basement pub mostly visited by local dwarves. They ate a meal and got directions to the local chapel to sleep. But as they prepared to leave, they noticed the members of the caravan now missing part of their group. Members of the party were friendly in interacting with them, offering them a round of drinks, without letting on it had been Yuriael that helped turn them into the Inquisitors. After the awkward exchange, they moved on. While looking for the chapel, the group ran into Hogrash being bullied by some thugs. The party intervened and a quick fistfight broke out. They scared off the thugs before helping Hogrash and Azamir complete their lumber delivery. After they parted ways and finally arrived at the chapel of the Concordant, there they met a kind, old abbot who greeted them with hospitality and offered them lodging in exchange for help with a few odd jobs around the chapel. Once they finished, they discussed rumors of the Cursed Mountain and the orphan issue in town before heading to bed. As the party went to sleep, a restless Azamir was thumbing through his grandfather's research journal when he heard a displaced whisper and watched as a journal entry appeared on a blank page accounting Asmirius' first visit to Dragon's Breath years earlier. Eventually, he too drifts off to a broken sleep.
I wake up and pull out my warhammer and say a prayer to Alicluse and bless it to give it +1 for the day.
Oh, you can do that now?
You do so? Do you go pray? Do you pray at the altar or just where you were?
Yeah, just where I was. I just put the head of the hammer down and just sort of kneel down and say a prayer. And the light coming in through the window sort of wraps down the wood handle and then sort of glows brightly and then dissipates.
Give me how you do so. You feel the energy imbuing into your weapon as you have whenever you've made this ritual. But give me a wisdom saving throw.
8.
As you're praying, same as you always do as you do this rite to bless your weapon, your nostrils fill suddenly with the acrid smell of smoke. You open your eyes and you look around and you don't see anything, but the memory of it is still on your nostrils. Other than that, though, you see this light aura on your hammer and the ritual is completed.
I am on high alert. I am now suspicious of the friar and this entire chapel. I don't tell you guys that.
It's just like your cat with the hair sticking up by the back of your
Yeah, there's something off. I asked, are you awake? I said, hey, Krisk,
Yeah.
do you smell that? It smells fire.
Do I? You don't. Wait.
I want
Do your perception check.
Okay. 7.
Yeah.
I want to use
Smell anything?
my divine sense.
You detect no such creature.
And I don't give any sort of weird smell of that because it said it rings out as an odor.
Yeah, if there was a creature to detect, you would have.
Okay.
No, and you don't feel like this ground has been desecrated. Like this chapel has not been desecrated
Or hallowed.
or consecrated. You mean?
Or I'm sorry, or desecrated or consecrated.
It's definitely consecrated.
Okay.
You can tell the abbot does his job well, and that you can feel
Yeah.
the presence of.
I want to do an
gods.
inside check on Galil.
Okay. Do you try to hide how you're feeling? I mean, you did ask him that question.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't inherently get a vibe off of that. If you want to ask him a specific question, he's standing right there.
But I say no. Everything seems to be in order. What do you smell?
Must just be in my head. I don't know, something's off, I think.
I did just wake up, but everything seems to be in order.
I hear them
hear
speaking.
Yeah, everyone can kind of hear it. And as you say that, it must just be unbelievable. So it's like, it's first it's the eyes, and then it's the nose. It all goes eventually. You see Abby Christopher is like getting rid of candles that have melted in the night and is replacing them with new candles.
Can I take a whiff of that air?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Get you a whiff of that.
24.
Smells fine. You smell like the smell of hardwood as the furnitures and the floorboards, and you smell dust. You don't smell anything unusual. It smells like it did as long as you've been here.
I don't say anything.
I guess I'll go ahead and say I kind of wake up, get a little crook in my back. Still kind of visually, I look tired as, I'm probably just on an early morning waker, early bird. All right.
You feel like you're a little extra sleepy because you kind of stayed up late reading.
Right. What time is it?
It's early.
Not noon?
Just sunrise.
I got a to-do list today real quick before we do anything, before you guys go out or anything. I just need to go for a little bit of a shopping trip.
I'll come with you, if that's okay.
Well, I don't think anything's open right now, but we can go check.
Oh, what time was it? I'm sorry.
Early, Roman.
Yeah, this should be
Like,
Okay.
The shopkeepers may be not opening their doors, but they're probably waking up and getting ready to.
You have to head out of town soon, don't you guys? I mean,
Well, that's the thing. At first, I wasn't too keen on staying or anything. But there's just something that I need to finish here. I feel like just on a natural instinct, as you would say. Something else here for me. I'll head back home after I get that done, though.
but we will be heading to Bahamut Spine today, I believe.
We're heading to Baphomet Spine today.
Or Dragon's Breath.
I found a potential guide for us named Glimmer. He's a hunter and a trapper, and he knows the lowlands pretty well and may be able to at least take us to where the highlands start.
Maybe.
Although he is convinced that they are cursed.
I would like to.
I wouldn't know any curses.
I would actually. I do believe that Krisk and Yuriael both are interested in visiting the orphanage today. Maybe we do that and then follow up with Glimmer and then plan to leave early in the morning tomorrow for Bahamut Spine. And you can accompany us if you would like. Ask me.
A trip to Baphomet Spine might be interesting. I think I'd very much...
Then let us make way to the orphanage.
All right. Well, I guess Krisk, you with me?
Yes. Christopher, the friar, probably will give us breakfast before we go, if we would like.
Maybe that's what you smelled in Vert.
I'll go find him and see if he has anything for us.
You go up to an old man and ask if
No,
he
I
can smell
haven't
burnt
started
toast.
anything yet, but I usually, I make some grits or something in the morning. Something filling, simple.
I can help you if you have the supplies.
Where is this located, like on the edge of the surrounding woods or something?
No. Imagine maybe like a square mile space on top of this bluff, but it's high up, and you guys have gone up to the very
There
top.
wouldn't be any like game around.
Not likely. It's like maybe more likely birds than not squirrels and stuff. Like there are some trees around here, but it's very curated in a way. Like they left the trees around on purpose.
Want to go search for some birds' nests.
Give me a survival check. So you get up early and kind of head out of the chapel and just explore the area near the chapel.
Not safe.
Some trees and stuff.
I think that's a 7.
7. You find some evidence of squirrels. You get a couple of sightings, but they're wily little bastards.
No birds' nests.
No luck.
Get some squirrel giblets.
Just gonna get some eggs, but not in the equation this morning.
No. I mean, you could probably buy some at the market though.
Yeah.
So I'll go into the back and fry up whatever he's got back there for our 4 party members. I'm accustomed for cooking at the church in Alexandria.
All right. Yeah.
And then I'll bring it out and sit down and start eating and say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I'll take any meal today.
Great job on that. Hold on, I've got just something to go with this. And he goes to this little small humble pantry and he pulls out 2 sticks of cinnamon.
Oh,
Then he's like, I've been saving this for a special occasion.
thank you.
Seems like a good time as any. You guys have done me a favor.
Thank you, Father.
Well, here, maybe I can...
Gracious host.
Maybe I can help so you don't have to use those on. You can save those a little bit longer. I just learned that I can prestidigitate flavor. So, cinnamon chocolate chips. Cinnamon.
Well, you just take all the soul out of it. They just feel like this is what I was talking about. These self-indulgent youth.
Sam, I'm gonna have to keep these cinnamon sticks another 43 years.
Thank you, Father. Thank you very much, young man. That was most generous of you.
Yep.
I imagine narrating his teeth. You can just do that anytime you want to, huh?
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Yep. Anytime I want, infinitely. I can do it more too.
Gods are keeping me on my toes this year. So yeah, you guys have a filling breakfast. You guys head out. Are you guys gonna head out into town looking for the orphanage first? Are you all going together?
Yeah, I believe we're gonna go to the orphanage, and then we're gonna look for this tracker, Glimmer, who's gonna tell us a little bit more about this curse and.
Should be at the more stall still.
Okay, as you guys begin walking back down the winding path out of this little verdant little area around the chapel, you begin heading back towards the lift to go back down, or you can walk the slope if you want. It's up to you. Do you want to pay another 5 copper to go the fast way?
Always.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, deduct another 5 copper. And take the lift back down. Anyhow, yeah, you guys get back down to the second tier, which is where you guys helped Hogrash with the lumberyard and stuff. You start moving back towards the city center, where the abbot explained where he told you the orphanage was. On the way, as you move back towards the town, you suddenly hear a sudden outburst from a building nearby, a structure nearby, I should say, as you see this gout of flame just shoot out of nowhere, just this big 30-foot long flame just kind of and it disappears real quick and it kind of takes everyone off guard to the point that everyone stops for a second, but they're almost used to it to a point that they're like, oh, and then they just kind of and go back to their business real quick. But as that dies down, you hear the voice of a woman shouting, "Close the dampeners! The dampeners! Reel it in!" And then you all hear the turning of gears and the braying of a mule in the distance. This is in passing. You guys can walk right past the sound if you want, or
Are we at the base of the bluff?
investigate. You're on the second tier, heading from the base of the third tier to another
See
building.
what that's about. I've never seen no shit like that.
This sounds like a town's namesake, possibly. Dragon's Breath.
Oh, I mean, it didn't look this settled.
Fucking big frame out here.
18 intelligence, baby. That's what a 10 wisdom gives you.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go see it.
I rush over.
All right, so following the sound over, you find yourself before a massive outdoor smithing operation. Beneath a large, wide awning, you see an elaborate machine consisting of a mule-driven carousel that powers the machine in a canister-shaped furnace, a small crane arm off to the side of that, and then a large, massive iron bobbin. Beyond that, you see a final spool at the end. And as you guys are looking at this monstrosity of metal and fire and gears, you watch as the mules are walking, turning the gears, which is feeding a continuously heated rod of metal out of the canister through this plate that is drawing it out real thin into wire. And you see that it's drawing it through these large spools. And then after that, you see this crane arm, they'll lift this up and put it onto this massive bobbin, which is then twisting and spinning and winding all this cable wire into a thick steel cable. Maintaining the machine, you see a half-orc feeding the furnace and a Goliath that is transferring the spools of wire to the bobbin. They are covered in sweat and oil. And no, he's not using the crane, I misspoke. This Goliath is just literally so massive that he can pick these heavy spools of wire off and then feed them into the next machine. And they're covered in sweat and oil and seem oblivious to you as they are working. Then you also see a dwarf woman operating a hand-cranked winch that is lifting the heavy wire bundles off the spools and putting it into a large pile. So that she's taking the finished product and throwing it somewhere. Altogether, they display this practiced efficiency to their workflow, and this odd metalworking process you've never seen before is mesmerizing to watch.
I say, what machinations have evolved over the past 300 years? What innovations in blacksmithing? I can't even fathom how they're working this metal like this.
It occurs to you that you saw those suspension bridges that you saw, that the way they're being held aloft is by this steel cable, that they're utilizing this new building material in this way to do things you've never seen before. And already it was like, how is that working? Is that rope? And now you realize that no, that's made of metal. It's metal rope. Eventually you see the dwarf hops off the crane and leaves the others to work the machine as she moves to a smaller forge. And you see as she pulls a heated ring of metal out of the fire and begins shaping it with her hammer. Galil, give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm into this.
17.
As you look at this dwarf woman, she has youthful features. She's probably, between her 50s and 80s for a dwarf, super young. You see she's got this like stark red hair, but it's almost the same shade as yours. And has like very like Legend of Zelda-esque like sideburns that go down real long, and they're all braided up real nice. So she doesn't have like a beard or anything. It's clean face, but these long like braided sideburns, and this top knot ponytail that goes up real high and goes real long.
She's me, Torbjorn's daughter.
Yeah, very much like Brigitte. But as you look at her, she looks so much like your mother. It's ridiculous. You've never just like seen her when she was that young, but like, you just throw a Snapchat filter on that, and that's looks just like your mom. It throws you off for a second. As you're looking at her, you get that smell of smoke in your nose again. And just for a split second, you see a winged form of smoke standing in her place, glaring at you with red eyes, and it disappears. And then in her place, you see this dwarf that looks a lot like your mother. Give me a perception check.
8.
Oh, you missed it.
8. You're kind of reeling from that vision for a second, but as you're looking at what she's working on, just kind of passively, you pick up on some nuances to her craft, being a smith yourself. You see a smith whose work has a lot of potential, but there's a lot of flaws in her work, and you identify through your own experience that those flaws aren't from a lack of technique. It's like bad luck. Like, oh, that metal ingot was bad, there's a cold shut in it, or oh, that thing was cracked because the heat treat didn't work just right. And you see like an amateur smith that could be better if things would just go her way.
I reached down and I clutched my amulet that I got from my mother and try to resolve myself from the vision I just had. And I turn to Krisk and Yuriael and Azmir and say, I have a feeling that the feelings I've been having to come home may be calling me here. If you guys wouldn't mind, I would like to stay here while you guys go to the orphanage, and then meet up at the chapel before we go to Bahamut's Spine.
Sure, absolutely. That sounds fine to me.
I thought this was not your home.
This is not my home. I still need to travel to Bahamut's Spine, but something is feeling like I need to stay here.
I look between her and him, and I'm just like, and they do kind of look similar.
I approach her and greet her and say, hello, I am Galil, cleric from Alexandria. How are you doing today?
Kind of looks up from her work with her stock and puts down her hammer, and she says, oh, Galil, that's a kind of an old-fashioned kind of name.
Yeah, I'm an old-fashioned.
She has culture.
Pleasure to meet you. My name's Claudia Ormender.
Oh.
She seems to have no recognition in her eyes at all. She doesn't know who the fuck you are.
I reach out my hand and I shake her hand and I say, 300 years ago, I was a very accomplished blacksmith. I see you're having lots of trouble with your gear. I do not understand these new complex machines or how you wield the metal in this way, but I do know how to wield metal once it's in the forge. I am on a quest to get to Bahamut's Spine, but if you would allow me, I would like to spend the day with you and see if we can help refine your craft a little bit before I'm on my way, and it would bring me much joy to get to work with metal again.
Is that you're saying?
Yeah, they'll show you my secrets.
Just saying.
At this point, have you guys gone ahead and left?
Yeah, I left. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are just having this one.
Yeah,
She says, yeah, I use all the help I can get. Honestly, I'm a little bit short-staffed these days. All my crew's kind of gone missing.
yeah.
But
I know what it's like to work alone.
just some bad luck. I wish I could take credit for the contraption, but that's not my design. I just get to work it.
I understand that. We all are working parts of a bigger machine, aren't we? So yeah, I just very eagerly kind of observe her working the metal, take turns just getting back into the field of working metal and trying to find out where her problems are coming from.
So you watch her work. She's currently working on these like gold-plated rings that are used to bundle up thicker bounds of cable, basically. Essentially, she's fabricating hardware for something else, filling an order. You see she's got great technique. Forge is the right temperature for the metal she's working with. She's got everything set up right for treating the metal, and you see she's going at it. And this particular ring she's working on, she just cannot get that forge weld on the two ends to connect. No matter what she does or hits the treat on it, it just will not go together. And it's kind of perplexing. It's like the metal is working against her. She ends up with passable stuff. Like you can see the flaws, and it's just like, that could have been better.
As I see her working a piece of metal and I see it start to go array, I go over and I say, 100 years or 300 years ago, I was a blacksmith. But for the past 300 years, I've been a cleric, and I have found that there are more than one ways to work metal. And I reach down and I use my channel divinity to perfectly craft what she's trying to do.
What a douche.
I mean, it kind of takes all the soul out of it.
Yeah, fucking mansplaining.
Is your hammer your focus?
No, it's mine.
Or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So you grab your war hammer now and go at it like you're going to use it as a forging hammer. And she kind of looks at you for a moment, perplexed, because it's not technically sound, but you watch and you see like this light hits the hammer, and you see like this flash of orange when you hit the thing, and it's just like almost like a time lapse. You see it like pin weld this thing together with radiant energy, and it fuses together into one solid piece.
Is this cable you're making? Just like fucking spun into it?
No, we're using the cable to make.
And she watches you do that, and once again, this is the same channel of entities before. You see this shimmer of light go through your gauntlets, and she sees this sparkle, and she says, "Oh wow, those gauntlets are amazing. Where did you find those?"
The gauntlets I've carried with me for years and years. They're actually just fabrications that I pulled from chunks of iron that I found in these hills. But
are you sure about that? It looks to be made of the same as these. And she pulls off one of her earrings. She's got these little like obsidian colored little earrings, and you look and it's like, yeah, it's kind of looks like it's made of the same ore.
Yeah. Can I use with advantage make a check to see if they're the same?
I think so. I think you're about to do that.
Yeah. So I'll use my stone cutting.
The only time I've ever seen stone cutting used.
19.
Yeah, they definitely look like they're made of the exact same material.
So you're right. That is the same material. Huh. Curious. And then I pull out my amulet that has the image of Andromeda on it, and I tell her that this is where I wield a lot of my power from, and it was a family heirloom passed down from my mother to me.
It's like, oh, that's beautifully crafted. I don't know if I can make something this intricate, but I'd love to try someday. And she hands it back to you. She says, I got these earrings. I chipped them off of my father's old warhammer.
I asked her when she moved to Dragon's Breath from Bahamut's Spine.
Oh, I've never lived in Bahamut's Spine.
Oh, really?
Nobody does really these days.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, half the people thinks it's cursed, and the other half don't want to deal with the bandits and ruffians that have moved in there. It's kind of a lawless place now.
Not good. That's where my family's from.
Mine too. Okay, so as you guys are working, after a time, eventually the other two people, the half orc and the Goliath, they take a break. You're in this conversation for a while working with her, and eventually another dwarf enters the room, and with a somewhat boisterous voice, he goes, "Claudia, where the hell does that go?" And sees you guys over at the forge. "It's a little early for your break, isn't it?" And she's like, "Yeah, sorry, Mr. Rancor, I got a little distracted. I'll be filling the orders soon, I promise. And he looks at you and says, "Well, how are you? Why are you distracting my workers?"
I'm a cleric from Alexandria, and I've been helping with the forge. It seems like there seems to be quite a few issues with some of your machines, and I was just seeing if I could help improve on the techniques, and if not, just help process some of these orders a little faster. I'm a cleric, so I tend to help where I can.
She says, well, you can help by helping her get back to work. And he's like, yes, I'm sorry, Saul. I just, my crews haven't come back yet from the mineshaft job. They should have been back days ago. I don't know what's going on with that. And he just is like, well, get it settled. I'm not paying you to fuck around with this equipment.
I think you should watch your tone when you're talking to the young lady. She's been working very hard all day, and I've been working hard too, so I know we've been processing more orders than she could have done alone.
He just goes, you know, he walks away. She looks at you and she says, sorry about that. My boss is kind of a prick.
Yeah.
And he's been really pissed off because half my orders aren't shippable because I can't get this fucking metal busy hit.
Tell me about your crew. What, you said your crew's missing?
Yeah, normally I have more people working the forge with me. It's just skeleton crew because I've got them down there maintaining the cables for the mineshaft elevators. They were supposed to be upkeeping the cables, making sure they're good, delivering some fresh supplies, and coming back. They should have been back by it's the gypsum mines on the north side of town.
I do have a group of able-bodied adventurers with me. We did go through a fairly perilous cave and fend off some spiders. I might be able to ask them to help, and if you would accompany us, we may be able to find your missing crew.
I mean, that would be an amazing offer. I would really appreciate the help. Fortunately, I cannot get away. I've got to get these orders done. I'm already behind as it is. I'm burning daylight. But if you guys want to check it out and if you find them, that'd be amazing.
What about if I stay here with you and help you finish orders for the rest of the day, and then after you get off of work, we'll meet up with my party and you can at least show us the way to the mine?
Yeah, I suppose that would work. If you would want to do that, I can't really pay you.
No, I would enjoy nothing more than staying here and forging for the rest of the day. I've been doing nothing but walking for about a week now. So staying one place and doing some blacksmithing sounds great.
You think it's great, Grandpappy?
But while we're on the subject, are you thinking about it the whole time? Like, how was this chick into me?
Yeah, for sure.
So give me a history check. It's been hundreds of years, but you remember what happened well enough. After the ordeal on Bahamut's spine, before you left, basically most of the males in your family perished in that event. One did not. Your uncle was a part of the Eastern Border Watch, and he was on deployment when that event happened. When he came back, he fell into the camp of people thinking that you might have had something to do, and it wasn't just some freak thing, because when the smoke cleared, you were the one standing there. You know, whether your exile was self-inflicted, I don't want to say that they ran you out of town, but you felt a lot of responsibility for it too. And so you guys parted ways. But even with that, your uncle or your uncle's sons, they died in the event too. So all that was left was his daughter. And so the family line went on through that, but basically you're the last surviving male heir of the family. The line dies with you. You didn't know there could have been. So,
yeah, I definitely.
You surmise she's your cousin. You don't know if she's like your second cousin or your third cousin, but she's definitely at least your second.
Yeah, I know that I don't want to disclose who I am, but I also
like your uncle would have been her great grandpa.
Yeah,
basically is what I'm trying to say.
Feel a great warmth being near family. I've been away from family for 300 years now, so just being near someone who's like me brings me a great deal of joy. It also brings me joy being able to help her in any way that I can. So I know that she may not like who I am, so I keep that to myself.
Well, you play it. Give me a charisma check.
23.
So you play it very close to the chest. You're just a friendly dwarf passing through who has an interesting craft. But you see all those same passions in her that you had when you were a child learning how to do this, and you wish like the luck was going back towards her. You feel like maybe this curse isn't so much localized to the mountain and localized to your family somehow. You don't know why. Can't think of anything that in his story that you guys have done to deserve it, but it's just something you feel like you see this like young dwarf who's got everything going for her and just can't catch a break.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that.
It feels like you've been spending all your time kind of atoning for something. And you're seeing like, well, they're still kind of dealing with it here.
Yeah, 300 years ago, I definitely was the best blacksmith in Bahamut's spine, and that's nothing to shake a stick at because there's a ton of blacksmith dwarves in Bahamut Spine. There was at least. So, yeah, I've definitely fallen from grace. If everything would have went my way, I probably would have had a very successful blacksmithing business and perfected my art much further than it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the atrophy of the skill, without that divine backup from Aliclus, you feel like she's a better smith than you right now. That doesn't fill you with jealousy. It's more like a pride thing. Like,
You've been using the damn
like it's I may perish, but this craft will live on.
And advance.
But yeah, you guys are doing that. In the meantime, the rest of you guys are exploring, looking for this orphanage.
Nope.
Are you not?
We're going to the
You and I were going to the market.
check out the market.
Just real quick. You going with them? So you follow the directions Christopher gave you, and you find yourself on the front step of this like large 2-story kind of manor-looking building that's built in the side of the hill, and it's got this iron gate that goes all the way around the premises, and the gate is open. It's this big, tall, like 20-foot arch metal gate that's opened up, and there's just a stone path that leads up to the door, and you can hear the sound of children playing in the back of the building somewhere as you approach.
I just go up the door steps, or go up the steps to the door, and approach looking for somebody in charge.
You knock on the door knocker, makes this loud noise, and you wait for a moment. I mean, you're just kind of taking it in. It's a nice morning. A minute later, the door creaks open, and you see a human woman with basic peasant garb, basically. She's got just a simple dress on. Got her hair pulled up. It's kind of frayed and messy. She's got stains all over her clothing. And she looks at you, and she says, yes, can I help you? Please come in. As she opens the door. Can I take your coat? Your cloak?
Yeah, I hand her my cloak. And she's very kind.
She grabs that and shakes it out, hangs it up on a rack nearby.
I've come to this town recently and noticed the streets seem to be filled with orphans. Not saying it's anyone in particular's fault, but I am curious as to how we've gotten ourselves into this situation. And
you and me both, dear. And you see as she's saying that, there's like 2 young kids go running between y'all like fucking maniacs. Yelling and playing, and it's like, we're busting at the seams as it is.
I see. So maybe that is the root of some of the issue anyway. There seems to be a lot of children on the streets in particular.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we'd love to take them all in, but you bring more mouths to feed, it takes away from the ones we have, and everyone's quality of life goes down.
Speaking of the children on the streets, do you know anything about any of them? I mean, do you know where they like to hang out at?
On the outskirts mostly, where they can essentially stay out of trouble in their own way. You'll find them in the bazaar a lot. They have to do what they can to survive, and that's where most of the food is easily accessed.
I guess I asked her if she's seen this one in particular that I encountered. I give her his description, little copper-topped boy.
She says, yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. I don't know his name or anything. He doesn't come around here very much, but I've seen him in the markets a few times.
I see. Very curious child.
I mean, while you're here, would you like to take a look around? We have lots of options.
Adopt the child?
Oh no, I
would adopt all of them.
Oh, I thought you were wanting to help.
would be an awful parent. I do want to help, but
Sort of child.
Yeah, there is a process, and honestly, we try to keep them away from sharp things.
Yeah. If you do think of a way to help, though, I would love to help somehow.
Sure. Same to you. And if you find anyone who's looking to adopt, they're looking to feel their dreams. Oh, so many dreams to feel.
I guess I walk out of there and meet back up with them at the bazaar, just keeping an eye out for this kid that stole my...
Come on. So you guys head back down to the bottom to the bazaar. What are you guys looking for? Shopping episode.
Yeah, episode 3, the shopping episode.
No, this will take just a second.
No, I just want to hang out. I just wanted to find some small little trinkets, baubles, doodads, maybe like a necklace, some rings that I can probably send home with Horgebrush to give to my family.
Hey, give me an investigation check. Advantage, or y'all can roll.
Yeah, I'm looking for the same type of
And
place.
I also want to try to find that halfling one song, the picture frames.
Go back to her stall. It's empty. I mean, the stall's, it's not empty. It's got like a canopy on it that's rolled down. You can peek and see she's still got stuff in there, but it's not open for business.
Well, that's a natural one. On my was it percent? Oh, with advantage? Oh,
Investigation, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus. I'm breaking away from him.
that's triple of my last roll. Investigation. That's a 9.
You get lost. You're like in this sea of carts, and you're like, half of these aren't even open yet, and I don't know where everywhere I turn, it seems like those giants are right on my head.
I want to go back to the woman who was selling the picture thing. Yeah, like I can recall where that.
We all just tried to find her, and you couldn't.
Oh, I will.
Like, you went back to her stall, and
Yeah,
she's
we
not
found her
there.
stall and she wasn't there. Well, we could check inside the stall, but I'm not going to peek my
I
head.
thought you were going to look for necklaces and stuff.
I was.
He did also say he was looking for her. too.
okay.
Y'all are doing the same thing, albeit separately.
Okay.
So, what exactly are you looking for?
A necklace.
A necklace. No, I'm in the market to find a necklace myself. Though I don't know where you'd be able to find anything in this street.
And we might have to wait till later and come back when all these places are open.
That's what I thought.
You hear a voice come from around the corner. He goes,
Hey, oops, hey,
Yes.
want to buy a necklace?
get a lot of necklaces.
Are you selling necklaces?
Yeah, I've got some stuff. I got some things.
Let's see you wear it.
Come over here.
I want to walk over and let's see what he's got.
Yeah, what kind of necklace you looking for? Is it a gift for your girlfriend?
I just want to look around for a stall.
No stall. He kind of pulls you off and out of the beaten path a bit. He's just a guy with a bag in his cloak.
Just a plain necklace. Maybe. So, just for our listeners, could you please do a brief explanation of the Concordant and what they represent?
Andromeda, which is the Sphinx, is what is considered the vestige of creation. She is the prime deity.
Yes.
She's the one that created all of it. Aleclus and Tithene are her offspring, created so that she wouldn't have supreme rule over anyone's lives. She decided it needs to be some sort of democracy. If I fuck it up, I don't want it to be all my fault, basically. So she created other people to have something that's more judicial. She gave them each jobs. Tithene is in charge of the world's essence. She's the one that imbues it with elements, magic, all of the formative function of the world. She's basically in charge of terraforming all that exists. Aleclus is the god of influence. He is the god of the perceived control over the environment around you, the ability to make decisions and to take the building blocks of the world, the essence that is provided, and turn it into something. He's a god of progression and change and law.
Who was the top one more time?
Andromeda. It was kind of like she's the supreme deity, but lets the lesser gods do most of the takes care of it, and then she's the tiebreaker vote whenever they can't get along. But that's why everyone worships them equally, because they all work together.
Aleclus, Tithene,
And Andromeda.
Andromeda.
3
I want to find a symbol of Andromeda.
You're asking the guy who
Yeah.
has one in his bag?
Yeah.
He looks in there and he's like,
Didn't get into
I don't know if the holy symbol's in here. I do have this nice silver chain though, and he holds up this like glittering silver necklace. It looks expensive.
How much is it? Wait, am I not there? Never mind.
You're not there?
Well, I figured you
That's
would
what he
be.
dragged.
No. We were both probably wound up at the same stall.
Yeah, you
She
let-
wasn't there.
We won't let this go for 10 gold pieces?
It's weird. He knows my starting goal.
Oh, does he?
Oh, you know, I think I left with 10 gold in my other coin purse back at the chapel.
Yeah,
He's like, that's up to me.
I can't. Yeah, I can't afford something that nice. I appreciate it though.
Do you want to buy a gift then?
Not a gift. This is for myself. I don't need anything fancy necessarily. I just want to find something I could make into a holy symbol.
Things really pick up around here in the afternoon. Most folks go off to work, getting their day jobs, and then come home tired. That's when they're ready to let loose and spend a little money. You'll start seeing shopkeepers coming up through here pretty soon, though.
Yeah. Thank you for the advice. What was your name, friend?
Have a good day. And he kind of walks away, shakes his coat and walks away.
Odd fellow.
That's a kind of a weird name, though.
No stall either.
Well, he's probably a traveling merchant.
Surely.
Probably takes too much time to set up a stall, so he just has what he needs on hand.
Won't pay for rent.
Doesn't have to. Very cheap lifestyle. I can respect it.
You're probably catching up with them about
Some stamps.
Yeah. Hey, do you have 10 gold?
Uriel, what did you find out?
Well, the orphanage is packed to the brim of kids. They are aware of the issue, but it seems like there is no plan to fix the issue. On my way over here, though, I was thinking. Now, it could be a bad plan, so let me bounce it off of you. What if we cleared that cave of spiders, gave it to the kids, and taught them how to hunt and trap to make a living?
Oh, I think that's a pretty bad idea.
No, I think you're right. I think it is a bad idea. It's a bad idea. But surely there is something that we can do.
Plenty of space in that cave for a bunch of kids.
Yes, space in that hole for putting children in.
I mean, we could just simply donate to the orphanage.
Teach them how to make their own money.
I think they already
Instead
know
of
that.
stealing it.
Well,
They're children.
if you make money, I feel like that's a little bit of a crime.
Sounds like there's a lot of premarital sex going on.
I'm glad I'm not the one who had to say it first.
Yeah, there's orphans that or their parents die.
Yeah, that's what orphans usually are. Dead.
Bastard children.
It's only one couple.
It's just one couple procreating.
just make it all the orphans.
There's surely something we can do. We will surely investigate. Maybe spend some more time, come up with a slightly better plan.
Cave is cheap alternative.
Let's put that in the back pocket.
Yeah,
Let's put it in the back pocket.
We need it.
Good.
Yes.
And
I'm glad you see value in that bait.
I do
I'm sure spider meat is
note the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, where is Leo?
Where y'all said you would meet up back with him at the chapel at the end of the day. He's still at the forge helping grow up.
What are we gonna do for the rest of the day?
I have to go meet up with Orgrash over at the common houses at noon. So I guess.
Don't let us keep you.
Oh, believe me, you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just starts walking away.
I figured I have probably a good 3 hours till then. I thought I could grab up some gifts.
So you're staying?
About 7:30 a.m.
I think I've decided I want to stay and I want to explore with you guys at Bahamut Spine.
It is intriguing.
It definitely is interesting. This curse, it doesn't sound tangible, logical, really. It's probably just some other simple solution to it. Such as, I believe someone mentioned yesterday, poachers. I mean, that's almost an easy guess.
Time will tell.
Absolutely. So until I have to go meet up with Orgrash, I got nothing.
You find somewhere comfortable, grab maybe a snack or something and kill time. Are you guys going to wait with him to meet up with Rogrash or go find some else?
Let's go clear out that tunnel.
We come back to like level 15.
They're at merely a good time.
We could just do it.
Listen, we buy a bunch of fire bombs.
You don't can afford the silver necklace, so you go to buy a fireball.
And with his will, there's a way.
What? Yeah, whiskey and a bunch of rags.
With God on our side.
We could buy a bunch of alcohol, throw it in there, and then light it on fire.
So you don't trust your ability as a hunter?
You didn't see how big those spiders were.
No, I didn't. I'd like to.
I'm game.
Do you think we could talk him into doing it? He's got a fear of spiders.
He seems most pliable.
After you.
Hey, would you like to accompany us to clear out this cave for these children?
The cave? That we keep hearing?
Now,
Yes.
it's not for the children.
Well,
It's simply to rid the cave of these hostile creatures.
for the children.
Rid the cave of hostile creatures that happen to be... what, exactly?
Spiders.
No. Thank you, sorry, I'm not going near that fucking cave ever again in my life.
What if I told you there was treasure in this cave?
You know what? I don't know what a spider would want to do with treasure, so why would there be treasure in the cave?
It's not about the treasure, it's about helping the
people. Think about it.
Oh, I'm helping the
The
This-
orphans hang out in the outskirts of the city. Those two children use that cave. I mean, they could have just as easily decided to go in there and perish.
Not only is it for the children, this cave is strategically located in between this city and another at a gate that is heavily trafficked and monitored for stolen goods. It would be the perfect place to stow away illicit items, treasures, whatever you might need to sneak through.
No. I see what you're trying to do. I see what both of you are trying to do.
It's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing. You know what else is the right thing to do? Breathing.
Yes.
Okay. And if I see, as soon as I go into that cave and see a single spider bigger than my thumb, I am probably going to pass out.
I'm reaching into my bag and pulling out rope and forming it into a lasso.
Conquer your fears.
Okay.
Thank you, Lasso Wizard. He needs to conquer his fears and come willing.
Yes, he will.
Willing.
We are willing, man.
If you don't, we will simply have to do it ourselves.
What if he dies because you were not there?
Well,
I will die.
No, I've seen you.
Real.
You are. I don't believe.
Well, you know what? I don't think you will die if you just don't go in the cave. So how about we just don't go to the cave and leave it at that?
We're going to the cave. It has been decided.
I have to go.
Well, regardless, I can't leave till noon. So
It's not even 9.
what if it takes longer than we expect? I don't want to miss him.
Well, we'll see you later.
All right, have some
Adios,
fun.
amigo.
All right. You guys gonna head towards Fine Home Grange?
Yeah, I'm
You guys gonna head out of town?
I want to grab a bottle of liquor before we head out.
Kind of unsure of yourself at this time of day, you decide to go back to Ogre's Rest and just go get something there.
Yes.
You want a bottle of liquor, basically?
These liquid encouragement to take on
It's not for that.
So tries to 10 silver for the bottle.
Okay.
Buy 2 full bottles of. I mean, I'm assuming you need a flammable, so something like a whiskey or something. Everclear. Yeah, some kind of heavy.
I feel like that's a door to nail. Everclear.
All right, we head to the tunnels then.
Okay. It's easy enough to get back down there. It takes you from where you are, about 20 minutes to walk back down to the edge of that cave entrance. You see the little cleave in there. Back and forth traffic is picked back up on the road. You can see that the customs issue seems to be figured out. And in the time it took for you just to walk that little ways back down, your 2 carriages passed you, going about their business. But you do find your way back to that cleave, and you guys slip back behind the outcropping and get to the entrance. You guys going back in?
Mhm.
All right.
Oh yeah.
How are you proceed?
I show him the way down to the spider pit.
I guess Douglas have dark vision, I believe, so I do. That's you like. You gonna lead him by the hand, or
I'll light a torch.
Good thing I just got dancing lights.
Yeah, let me go first. I mean, I don't have great stealth, but
all right? You guys move back down to that little chamber where you fought the spiders, and you see, and it's already been a night. They're all still there. You see the little crunched up remains of burnt up spiders and 2 big dead ones. And then you see that little path that you found that went back behind the cavern a bit into that larger deeper chamber. Okay, so give me a survival check. Whoever wants to go first. Me. 16.
This is the last we ever saw of these half-hour party.
16.
Big spider.
Big
All
spider.
right, so you guys are exploring for a ways. You go into this larger chamber, as Yuriael described to you. You move through here a little ways, and it's this much larger opening. You come up to this, what is basically a cliff. It goes down for a distance you can't really tell. It's not a sheer drop, but it's sloped enough that you wouldn't be able to just walk down it. And you see that it goes down further, and it kind of slims out of the edge. The only ways to go down. You see webs everywhere in here. Give me a perception check.
so boy.
Awesome to set some rope for us to back up once we get.
Good idea. What was this? A perception?
17.
17.
Ooh,
20.
That 20. Okay. All right. Yeah. Easy enough. You get the light only goes so far, so you're only able to see so far. You see this place is pretty open. It's pretty good. You do see more spiders on the wall. Giant, not giant spiders, but the same kind of creatures that you were facing the other night.
Yeah.
Are kind of skittering in places and cowering from the flickers of your light. You don't see that one that you noticed before, the really big one at this time. Just strands of webs going everywhere down into the darkness.
I say we clear it as we go deeper.
So would you like to roll a sleight of hand to tie your rope off before you guys start climbing?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Well, I think before we climb down there, we're gonna take care of these. But I will go ahead and tie that rope off. How far down is it? How much rope?
You can't see the bottom. Your torch goes down. You kind of stop seeing about 60 feet is where the dim light goes away, and you can't see anything.
Okay, so I just, I guess use the whole 50 feet of my roll. Tie it up. Alright, so yep, that's gonna be 21.
All right. So yeah, you guys have a rope that you can rappel down at least, 40, 45 feet or so. It's just this kind of like, almost like funnel-shaped cavern that goes down.
Couldn't traverse it. You want to shoot a flint arrow?
You need a rope to climb down, and if you run out of rope, you may not even still reach the bottom.
I'm gonna say 8 feet. I'm gonna take one of my torches, grab another one out, ignite it, throw it down, just torch down.
It goes up 5 feet. It's the floor.
So it goes out a ways. You kind of throw it at a distance, and it avoids the wall for a way. Then it goes down, and you see that it starts bouncing off the rocks, and it goes all the way down. And as you do, you see more spiders flee. There's, you've seen at least half a dozen of the big ones that y'all fought before.
I just shoot one of them.
All right, make it a tackle with just a regular arrow.
Yeah, regular arrow. Will be a 20.
Oh yeah, so you roll damage. You set an arrow down towards the light and clip one of the ones that were just on the edge of the radius that hadn't fled. How much damage?
11.
Yep. Yeah, you shoot that one and you see the spider like curls up on itself and just kind of rolls over next to your torch. Dead as can be. The other one skitter out of your sight.
I look back at you and I say, I don't think I'm gonna have enough arrows.
Well, I've got some javelin.
As you say that, you hear this kind of stretching sound and then a snap, and you hear this kind of whoosh as this large figure falls from the ceiling and then tumbles down the wall and lays next to your torch. And you see a withered, wrapped up in webbing husk of a horse.
Neat.
Look, stretching it.
I want to look up at the ceiling.
You have dark vision, so you can kind of see up there a little ways. Give me a perception check.
Neat.
This turned into a horror campaign so quickly.
14. You look up and you see, like, you're looking like this and kind of like inverted from you on the wall, and you see the most massive spider you've ever encountered in your life. This thing is the size of a fucking mini. No, never. And it is just crawling down the wall towards you super slowly, like venom dripping off of its fangs. You can't see it because you have just a little bit of torchlight.
Okay. I do that.
Button you first.
I want to throw a javelin. Get it out.
Don't retreat.
Hey, throw a javelin.
All right.
Can't wait to see you guys' new characters. This is why I did.
It's a weird angle. It's a weird angle to throw stuff at.
As you throw it out, that you see it recoils quickly, and this thing like bounces off the wall, and you see it just kind of down, clank, 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 clank.
Definitely.
And you guys start creeping back into the wall. You see it does like that spider lunge that they always do. Kind of skitters towards you real quick, and you guys are like, oh fuck! You guys back up out of there.
That's not an oh fuck. That's like, oh, I need new pants.
But it doesn't follow you through the crevasse. However it's got in there, it doesn't have a way to follow you out this particular passage.
It's like the fish that got too big for the tomato.
Maybe, or there's another way it can get in there much easier.
Okay.
It's a big mountain after all.
I want to, right before we go back in there.
Because you're going back in there.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way to scare him off, dude.
I tried my best.
Still got the alcohol and
They got
storage.
All they see is free XP.
Which is untold.
Alright, what are you guys doing, you maniacs?
All right. I pull out another javelin. And right before we plunge in there, I want to cast a spell. So
Do what you got.
Can't even see it, bro.
Yeah, like you guys, as soon as you go in there, I'm gonna have you roll initiative.
I'm just gonna say that right. Look harder.
Because it's actively
Light a
looking for
torch. Light a torch.
I've already got a torch lit.
You threw it.
you. No, he threw another one.
I lit one.
He's holding one and there's one down at the bottom of the cavern, but that's the only light sources.
Throw
Okay.
it on the lift there, and then
Alright, I want to...
20 and 30 or something like that.
I think it's
That's-
30.
It's like 60 minutes.
I guess I throw my torch to where it's at the base before the entrance there, so that like area where it's gonna drop down is lit up.
Okay.
And I just ready a fire arrow, and like I guess walk in just a little bit, and I'm like, or wait, this isn't where you betray me, is it?
pushing up.
That's funny.
I walk in a little bit.
That would be a great place, though.
This would be a little bit more metal than a cask of Amontillado.
All right, let's go ahead and roll initiative, you three. Or you two.
I wanted to do something.
What do you want to do before you go in there?
Wanted to cast blast,
Okay.
and like right when I went to find it.
Alright, so I know what I'm going on. What are you guys going on?
Oh, yes, initiative.
I got a 6.
20.
What's your dex modifier?
0.
So you cast Bless, and then we'll start at the top of the round. All you hear is the shifting, dropping of chips of rock and gravel sliding off the cavern wall. Something is moving just beyond the edge of this passage that you're hiding in. Krisk, you are next to initiative.
What the hell is this?
Because you roll 20,
That went
very high, so you go.
Oh, great. I thought you said him. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgot my name. Yes.
Krisk will talk us.
For school talk. All right. I just want to rush out to the mouth of the cave and look up. Throw a javelin.
As soon as you come out,
I'm hitting it, and I'm done credit.
it goes.
Does that pop off my ready shot?
Yeah, it would happen simultaneously as Krisk runs out to look up and get it, and he was waiting just for whatever comes out of that hole like a funnel web spider, lunges at you, and it connects with this vicious bite into your.
Do you know it connects?
Because I just rolled a nat 20.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, no.
I guess it hits. Because of the rules. Okay.
It delivers a vicious bite, but you also shoot at it. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Bro. Fucking hell. Wait, bless me.
Yes, bless. It's a D4,
It's a D4. Bless is a D4.
and I'm at a 10 right now.
Jesus Christ.
What is it, though?
It's not great.
Doesn't need to be great. Just tell me you hit the number.
I just don't think I did. What was it? 9.
Don't forget
safe.
Bless.
Okay, thank God.
Don't forget Bless.
Was it fucking spiders about to jump onto my body?
No, it's poison from the kin.
Wow.
So bless is a D4, right?
Yes, it's a D4.
For every skin check,
So what'd you get?
attack roll.
T.
13 to hit, which doesn't hit.
Does not hit.
You might have to drag me out of here.
Don't make me leave.
Well, why didn't you guys done this? Why didn't we go alone? I told you this was a bad idea.
You take 24 damage.
Down.
So, and you see this vicious bite, like full-on Frodo Baggins just gets snagged and goes down hard, and you see the spider is already about to go into like web mode. Yuriael, you are next.
Oh.
I need to breathe.
Well, I mean, if I need to re-roll a character, I'll need a break too.
Wow, right? Y'all chose this.
Krisk Ultarkus the second.
It took down a horse.
We can take down a horse.
Yeah, that's no.
I knew that was the mindset you.
I'll take him down.
That's exactly what I wanted to tell. I was like, horses pretty suck. Yeah, I can a horse.
This is a great game. Thank you.
Save me.
All right, so you bonus action, light it up and flash a flame as this oil-soaked rag starts to burn.
I'm gonna die on the fucking second session of the game.
Just sitting there. Family Guy face down.
Bro,
Guy, hold on.
Please tell me. You have guidance.
no, I dropped him. Concentration is off.
He's gone.
Or not guidance, blessed. It's just you and that arrow. What'd you roll?
No, it ain't. That bitch was saying.
It's a 13 again.
That's a miss.
This is going to be horribly tragic. This come on, man.
Oh.
That's your man. That's on my gravestone.
On its turn, it uses its action to web it up. You see, it's almost disregarding you as it very quickly manipulates its legs and its spinnerets to roll Krisk up in this very loose webbing and gets it to a point that it can grab it with its jaws and start to drag him away. So it starts to climb, but only drags about 15 feet up the wall, so you can still see it if you go out there.
I'm going to sprint
Chris, I need a death save for you as well.
towards
That's a save. Okay, one save. Roll a 20, you can fuck this thing up.
I'm going to
It's not that hard to kill if y'all could just hit it.
I'm going to sprint towards Krisk and grab this rope and Krisk and try and pull it away from the spider
You're trying to grab Krisk?
and jump into the ravine filled with spiders.
Into the hole?
No.
Well, I'm going to have the rope.
Yeah, but why would you go where there's more spiders that can bite you?
Stop yourself.
I got to grab you and I'm going to try and grab Krisk and pull him out.
Alright, give me an athletics check. Alright, so yeah, we'll kind of wrap this all into one check. I've got a DC in mind. I'm gonna give him a plus 2 on his opposed, because he's technically out of your reach, but you're gonna, like a mama bear protecting it, you're gonna try to jump up there and grab him. So give me an athletics check.
Yo, darling, this is a certified bad move.
DC 9. I'll go ahead and put it out there. He rolled like dog shit.
No love, he died, bro.
I might, bro. I've been rolling like shit.
You haven't been rolling that bad. It's just like you're just shouting at the AC.
19.
Why couldn't you roll like that earlier? Hits. You grab him. You have a hold of him. You beat that athletics check, so you pull him, and the extra weight he can't hold on to both of you, and you both fall to the ground. He's already out and lands on you safely, but you take falling damage as you land on your back. But you're laying on this upper lip. You hold the horse. You still have your movement, we'll say. So you could use your movement to drag him 15 feet into the passage and get out of harm's way.
Okay. So we can rest up and try it.
So, narrowly escaping with your lives, you see, it pulls apart, and there's like a couple of seconds where it's like reacting to what the fuck just happened. They're not intelligent creatures, so that was really like wait, what? Someone just got away? Well, yeah, you drag him back. Give me another death save.
He fails.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
Sure.
All right, so
you hear me go.
He's got 1 success, 2 fails. You need to stabilize him.
Yes.
And it's not like you see that it's not that he's like bleeding out or anything. It's not like a snake venom where he's bleeding out of every orifice. You see that he's not breathing. Some paralytic is keeping his body from breathing, and he's basically suffocating it. It would still
take him back.
Okay, you stabilize.
Fucking bullish.
I'm rolling on this from now.
You basically perform CPR. You see, like, he's not breathing on his own, and so you start doing CPR to help get him breathing. And you're able to get him stabilized to a point that the venom starts to run its course, and a few moments later he starts to breathe on his own, but he's still unconscious.
I did boom up in there. I say to you,
like, you're gonna have to drag his ass out of this cave now.
man, that was a close one. We were in a lot of trouble.
He's still out, but
Gotta take a break now.
you're out. You can't.
I'm taking a break.
out of this cave.
You've got this unconscious body. You don't know how long it's gonna take for him to come to. Do you want to try to drag him back on your own?
Yeah.
I won't make you roll checks over and over again. We'll say it's slow going, but you're able to, like, fireman's carry him out of here super slowly. You kind of get him back to the road.
I'd like to make some kind of, like, I don't know, way to carry him on my bed sack or bed or something. It's easier. Since I'm not very strong.
I mean, it almost comes down to that, because you're not the most brawny sort of character, and
I weigh like 280 pounds.
he's weighed down by both his bulk and the fact that he's wearing this heavy armor too. So he's several hundred pounds. So you're like dragging him up the hill, tired as hell. Give me a charisma check real quick.
16.
16. As you're going up a way, about 10 minutes of dragging him up, you get maybe 100 feet away from the outcropping, and you're like, it's gonna take forever. I'm so tired. And a passing carriage takes pity on you and realizes what's going on and helps you get him onto the thing and drives you back into town.
Much appreciated.
So in the meantime, Azamir, eventually the rendezvous with Hobrash comes around. It's almost noon, and you see coming down the road from the second tier down to the market where you've been waiting, you see Hobrash driving the cart back down. Do you wave him down?
Yes. I just try to get in front near as the cart as I can and go, Hogrash! Hogrash, hey!
Alright, he pulls up to you and slows up. And like, oh, coming aboard? Almost missed ya.
Yeah, well, Hogrash, some things have kind of come up a little bit. I hope you do not mind me doing this in no ill faith. I think I might be staying with these people. Something about them just feels weird that I feel like I'd need to take care of. But I just really wanted to meet up with you so you could do one thing for me.
What's that?
I'm going to take out my little coin purse, and it's going to be the 15 gold that he gave me yesterday. I just want to give them to him. He's like, take this to my mother, please. And tell her I'll be back. I'll be back soon.
Alright, sure, kid.
That's all.
No problem.
Save a seat up me for the lunch table at the lumber yard for me. I'll be back eventually.
Every day he saved a seat for him. He never showed back up.
The ride back's gonna be quiet. He's kind of got a distant, far-off smile, a look on his face.
Oh, don't worry.
Cracks the reins.
Don't worry. I'm like, better make it a slow ride. And when he message him telepathically, he's like, I'll always be here talking to you.
As you see the dirt trail from the cart picks up.
And he's out of range.
So all the waiting aside, after your meeting with Hodrash, eventually you see another cart coming into town with Yuriael and a very injured Krisk on the back of it, strands of webs still clinging to his armor in places.
I take it the kids are going to be very impressed with the cave.
I told him it was a big spider.
Yeah, no shit. Well, it doesn't matter. Get him back to the chapel or something.
The person that helped you off the road, he's an elf. Looks like he's some kind of farmer or something, bringing in a whole bunch of wheat. We'll say things fair. And he says, well, if you need a ride up to the top tier, I'm headed that way.
Well, yep, sure. I'll go ahead and hop on.
Okay. So he rides up, and it takes about 30 minutes to ride up the road. It's a nice ride. You go up the hills to the second tier, and you turn around and you go up this spiral that leads up to the bluff that had the chapel on it. How do you want to end your shift, basically? Because you've been working all this time.
Yeah. I say, all right, I've got to go back to the chapel. Claudia, I've got to go back to the chapel and reconvene with my party. Once I've got them, I will meet you out front of the Ogre's Rest Tavern, and you can show us the direction of that mine on the north side of town where your crew went missing.
That's perfect. That's the same road that will lead us onto the mine, so that'll work.
You know how far away the chapel is, so it should take me a couple of hours to get there and back, so you have time to go home and tend to whatever you need to before we head out.
Sure.
And then I will make my way and say before I go, Claudia, it was a pleasure working with you today, and I hope we can continue to work together in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks for the pointers. I'll be putting them to practice for sure.
I know you will.
Comes back to her disabled Chris.
Yeah, I head back to the chapel, take the lift up.
So by the time you get back, you're covered in sweat and dirt from working. You come in, kind of wringing out your tired muscles. You see, already having arrived, you pass a stranger's carriage on the way back down the road and take no notice to it, but it was the one that dropped them off. You come back and you see everyone kind of huddled around a very, very sickly but now conscious Krisk, who has just survived their ordeal.
I say, move aside, and I push through, and I will cast Cure Wounds twice at the first level, 20 heal.
Okay. So it just pumping all of this radiant energy. You feel this purge of poison from your body. You feel like the weakness of your muscles from from the poison is leaving your body, and you feel like everything kind of limber back up, and you feel tons better.
Good.
Listen,
Almost
it was
cool.
So what happened, Chris?
It was a bad idea. I told him I didn't want to join them.
I thought you guys were going to the orphanage today.
Yeah, that's where we started.
Yeah. What happened?
For the kids.
It was all for the kids.
No other the kids.
You see that cave?
I see you didn't leave today. I thought you were heading out with Ogresh back to the lumber yards.
You know, I didn't chat with him. I decided I wanted to start see things through. You guys seem like an interesting bunch, and I need a little bit of excitement every now and then.
Yeah, I would say not too many humans of your age have made it up to Baphomet's spine, so
I know a couple.
definitely will make you a more traveled adventurer.
Yeah, that's what I live for, apparently.
Who shed my pants?
I think you did.
So, in other news, now that you're looking a little better,
Yes, thank you.
after working with Claudia all day, she seems to have come across some issues. She thinks it has something to do with this curse that's been going on, possibly, or just bad luck. But she has an entire crew that has went to fetch supplies from this mine on the north side of town. They've all went missing, leaving the blacksmith and the forge short-staffed. I thought maybe we could go and check out and see where her crew is and why they haven't returned in several days.
So we have a quest?
A quest indeed.
As long as we all do it together, I think we'll be fine.
Yes.
No, pray tell.
No more splitting up.
Although now that we are back in a safe distance, that gave me some ideas on how we can kill that spider.
For the dogs.
All I remember is running.
You know, it dropped a horse, so we know it likes horses. It also came down immediately and grabbed you and tried to eat you and wrap you up. So we know it likes to do that. So, what if we took a horse
Very explosive.
and filled it with alcohol and flammable liquids? Just got
Sort of Trojan horse.
well, who are these Trojans?
That's the type of horse.
I see.
Oh, yes, then a Trojan horse. And we fill it full of alcohol, wait for the spider to capture it and eat it, and then light the horse on fire and watch
How
it.
do we feel it with alcohol?
You ever get a horse drunk?
You put the bottle in the rear end, fill it up.
Table it. Okay, come back to that.
All right. I definitely think you need to work on the idea. We do have some walking to do.
Where are we going to buy a horse? And also, where are we going to be able to afford that much alcohol?
As you listen to Yuriael wax about the insurmountable task of clearing out this spider den for the children,
It's for the children.
So we're going to come back at level 20 to this king.
but now with a quest in hand to help Claudia Ormander find her missing crew, you all regather and we'll end our session right there today.
Well, oh my god.
Man.
Not bad. Yeah.
This is a small room.
Thanks everyone for listening. If you like what we do, please leave a review. That really helps us out.
Persephone's Tavern, our tales will be sung as we share our adventures with friends old and young. So come raise your glass to the heroes so bold in Persephone's Tavern, where legends are told.
It's the end of the show, which means it's time to take a look at our bounty board. This week we have Radical Toaster, Krinko, Poin Sucks at Games, 3 kobolds in a trench coat wanted for selling illegal flying potions at the gate to Dragon's Breath, asking for 50 gold pieces per kobold upon capture, plus a 50 gold bonus if you can get the set. That's all this week, but a humble thanks to all of our patrons for their continued support. If you would like to support the show and hear your name on the bounty board, find us at patreon.com/Persephone's Tavern to learn more. Thanks, guys. See you next time.